Prajapati Gautami and 500 nuns died up here most probably, this near where this temple stands. And they were most probably cremated in this cremation ground with the 500 nuns. And folks, this is Bajalpura, the area around Amrapali's home. And this temple is dedicated to Prajapati Gautami's soul. This is Bhagwati Sthan. Bhagwati Sthan, and this is the frontage of the temple. Now, how did I come to such conclusion? To understand this, please view the entire video till the end. Thank you.
Now, we all know that, Maha Prajapati Gautami died in, Vaishali, that's Pidholi. Maha Prajapati died in Vaishali, Pidholi. She and 500 bhikshus used to stay in Amrapali's house, that is Chak Amra. Chak Amra, just next to the moat south of Pidholi, south of Vaishali. So she would stay there, and she died there. Well, they must have cremated her on the banks of the Ganges. Well, so folks, on the banks of the Ganges is a Bhagwati Sthan. See, Bhagwati Sthan is a female ancestor. Now, Prajapati Gautami becomes a female ancestor of that area, of that place. And you must remember, the Buddha was called Bhagwat. In Vaishali, the Buddha was called Bhagwat. And basically, his aunt or his stepmother will be Bhagwati. So there is a Bhagwati Sthan next to the Ganges, between Chak Amra and the Ganges. Folks, that is most probably the stupa to Prajapati Gautami. Folks, so check out the satellite picture and the pictures. Bhagwati Sthan, that is Prajapati Gautami's, cremation ground. Now let's see about Maha Prajapati Gautami, where she was a nun and where she died. See, Maha Prajapati Gautami was the aunt and foster mother of Prince Siddhartha. She raised him after the death of her sister, the Buddha's mother, Maya Devi. The meaning of the Sanskrit name Maha Prajapati is the great patroness of all beings, and Gautami is the female equivalent of Gautama, the family name of Prince Siddhartha. Okay, the story of Maha Prajapati Gautami is mentioned in several biographies of Buddha. Shakyamuni is mainly in regard to the time after his enlightenment. Very little information is available about the early stage of her life before becoming the foster mother of Prince Siddhartha, and also regarding the period of his upbringing after Shakyamuni attained enlightenment and founded the Buddhist monastic community. Maha Prajapati Gautami begged him to be allowed to join. Initially he rejected her to be ordained as nun. Later his disciple Anand persuaded him that in spiritual matters women are on a par with men and should have equal opportunities to follow the path to enlightenment. See, the story goes like this, that Maha Prajapati Gautami, she came with 500 nuns to Vaishali, and Anand, he spoke up for her, and finally Buddha accepted it. So, and the story says that she started living in Amrapali's home, and she died also in Amrapali's home. So let's see how she died. See, here's CUK about Maha Prajapati Gautami. Not far from this is a stupa. This is the site of the old residence of Ratnakara. So near Ratnakara's residence is Amrapali's house. Not far from this is a stupa. This is the old house of the Lady Amra. It was here the aunt of Buddha and other Bhikshunis or obtained nirvana. So it was here the aunt of the Buddha and other Bhikshunis obtained nirvana. That was in Amrapali's home. Now let's see where Amrapali's home is, folks. This is your Chak, Amla and Dularpur, etc., the Vaishali, which I have been showing you all these days. And then you have, this is your Toko, Xuan Zang calls it Tokyo, that is Tegra. And this is your Amrapali's home next to Ratgaon. Folks, it is Bajalpura. Bajalpura is Amrapali's home. Bajalpura means to music playing. Bajalpura means a lot of music playing. This is a perfect ancient rural word for a brothel, folks, for a dance hall. So this is what you call it, Amrapali's home. And see, Buddhists say that her name was Ambapali. Ambapali is actually Amrabajalpurwali. Amrabajalpurwali is Ambapali. See, we know a woman by her village's name. So Wali means from where they are. So she is Amra from Bajalpura. Amra Bajalpurwali, mispronounced as Ambapali. So this is your Bajalpura, her home, and this is where Prajapati Gautami, Bhikshuni, according to Xuan Zang, lived, and she died here, folks. Now, what proof? Let's see, how did she die? See, let's go down to the death part. At the age of 120, Gautami alone decided to leave this world. She confirmed a high spiritual accomplishment. She carefully prepared her disciples, who at that time numbered more than 500 nuns and plenty of lay women. In her last sermon, she convinced them to follow devotedly the path of announcing worldly vanity and describes her achievements. Shortly before her passing away, she went to the Buddha and acknowledged her great debt to him, as well as her determination to attain complete liberation. He encouraged her to demonstrate her supernatural powers in order to disperse the doubts of those who claim that woman could not perceive the final truth. The final truth is death. What truly remarkable about her death is that she was followed by 500 nuns who chose to leave the world together with her. Due to her support, they achieved supreme spiritual realization and acquired the ability to pass consciously into another dimension of existence following their spiritual leader. Now this up here, it is clean that it was a self-inflicted death. She felt like she should die, so she went and told the Buddha that. And then see, self-inflicted death, I have noticed, see, where she died, there will be a stupa, that is your Amrapali's home. And Amrapali's home, but there a stupa is to be prayed to, not to be lived on. So there should be a sangrama nearby in which the monks could stay, and the pilgrims who came to pay homage could stay. So I have noticed all those places are a variation, all the sangramas of self-inflicted deaths are a variation of Har. In the case of Anand, it's Harel. In the case of Buddha, it's Haryanka or something like that. And in the case of Prajapati Gautami, here it is Haripur. Now the other places like the Buddha, Anand and all, they have only one Har, Har. But here you have two Hars, Har. Because Prajapati Gautami was not the only one who accepted self-inflicted death. 500 others. So hari hard means death after death after death. I mean self-inflicted death. So this is the Sangrama, and this will proves that Prajapati Gautami died here, which is Bajalpura, and folks, a person of the stature of Prajapati Gautami, you don't just, now where did they, cremate? See, if she died here, and there is a cremation ground up here, Shamshan Ghat. Shamshan Ghat means cremation ground on the banks of the Ganges here. So she dies here, and there is a cremation ground up here, so you can be sure that she was cremated here, folks. So this is the stupa, and up here is Tegra, and Xuan Zang calls it Tokyo. Let's see what Xuan Zang has to say about Tokyo. It's very interesting. Not far from this are several stupas. The exact number has not yet been determined. Here 1,000 Pratyek Buddhas, Tokyo, that is your Tegra which I showed you. Tokyo attained nirvana. That means Tegra means Pratyek Buddhas. Tokyo is Pratyek Buddhas. That means Tegra means Pratyek Buddhas. See here. Here you have Tegra. That is your Xuan Zang's Tokyo. 1,000 Pratyek Buddhas died here. So, Nirvana. Each within and without the city of Vaishali, all around it, the sacred vestiges are so numerous that it would be difficult to recount them all. See, 500 nuns died with Maha Prajapati Gautami. So, it's natural that what does he write? All around it, the sacred vestiges are so numerous that it would be difficult to recount them all. At every step, commanding sites and foundations are seen, which the succession of seasons and lapse of years have entirely destroyed. The forests are uprooted and shallow lakes are dried and stinking. So, folks, Xuan Zang talks about Tokyo, that there are uncountable, holy objects. Folks, 500 nuns died with Prajapati Gautami here next to Tegra in Bajalpura. That is why Xuan Zang says Tegra, which he mispronounces as Tokyo, has got unaccountable, holy sites, folks. And see, now Bhagavati Sthan. What is Bhagavati Sthan? What is Bhagavati Sthan? The Buddha was regarded as Bhagavat. He was called Bhagavat in Vaishali, and his relic stupa is also called Bhagavatpur Tiyai. So the female, a person with the stature of the Buddha and a female, is Bhagavati. So Bhagavati Sthan, folks, this temple is dedicated to Prajapati Gautami. She is Bhagavati. Nowadays they have started claiming that Bhagavati is Durga. Well, Bhagavat means demigod. So Bhagavati will be demigoddess. Durga is a goddess. So how can this be Durga? This is Prajapati Gautami's temple, ancient temple itself, folks. And this whole area is full of Bhagavati Sthans. See, 500 nuns died with her. So this whole area is full of Bhagavati Sthans. So, folks, this is your Buddhism still alive for you. Check out the pictures of Bhagavati Sthan and Bajalpura village area, which was Amrapali's home, where Prajapati Gautami died. attained Mahaparinirvana.
Okay, now folks, this is, see, this building you see, this is dedicated most probably to Prajapati Gautami, folks. Prajapati Gautami died here on that spot. Where you saw that building. You see these children playing on the river Ganges. The Prajapati Gautami attained her Mahaparinirvana just next to the river Ganges. So you see these children playing here. And this is a bamboo grove just next to Bajalpura, which is your Amrapali's home. And folks, this is the charnel ground where most probably where Prajapati Gautami and 500 nuns who died with her, they were cremated on this charnel ground, most probably 2400 years ago, folks, on the banks of the Ganges. So this charnel ground is also holy. And of course you have the beautiful picture of the Ganges with children playing over right in front of the charnel ground, enjoying the water. And folks, this is just next to what you call it, this is Bajalpura, just next to Amrapali's home, where Prajapati Gautami and 500 nuns, they attained Mahaparinirvana or Mahaparinirvana. Folks, and see, this temple is dedicated to her, I am certain, because this is a Bhagavati Sthan. Now, Bhagavati Sthan, the Buddha was known here in Vaishali as Bhagavat. The Buddha was known as in Vaishali as Bhagavat. See, look at the sanctum Xuan Zang. And so it was natural that Prajapati Gautami will be known as Bhagavati. The male was Bhagavat, that is the Buddha, and the female is Bhagavati. See, look at the sanctum sanctorum of Bhagavati Sthan. What do you call it? In Bajalpura. Bajalpura is your, what do you call it, Amrapali's home. Bajalpura is Amrapali's home, and it's a perfect, what do you call it, name, village for name for a dancer's village. So anyway, this is Bajalpura. This is the place, this where these temples stand. It is what do you call it? It is a sthan. What is a sthan? A sthan is where someone used to live. A sthan is where someone needs to live. Now, what do you call it? This is Bhagavati Sthan. So this is where Bhagavati used to live. See, the Buddha was Bhagavat, and automatically Prajapati Gautami becomes Bhagavati, and her nuns also become Bhagavati. So, and Amrapali also becomes Bhagavati. So basically, this is Prajapati Gautami's this temple. See, notice something. There are no, what do you call it, the regular Hindu gods and goddesses up here. It is just for the soul. See, the Buddha forbade statue worship. He forbade statue worship. So you don't have statues. Of course, they have recently put 2 small ones, because now Hindus cannot live without statues. So basically, this is Bhagavati Sthan, Prajapati Gautami's Mahaparinirvana place. Folks, if you found this educative, be sure to like, follow and subscribe to my page Buddha Exhumed, and tell your friends and relatives about this video.